Good morning, students. In the last class, we have started this topic. We have ended also the statistics. But in that one main point I have missed. I have missed the formula to give you about the empirical formula relationship between three M's. The relationship between three M's I have lost. I have forgotten to give you. So please do write this also. Empirical relationship or empirical formula, or you can say the cumulative tendency of three M's also. They will ask you what will be the formula to find the empirical relationship between the central tendency. I've told you, central tendency in the sense three M's, all mean, mode and median, all the three they'll ask you about. So I'm really sorry. Yeah. Next, we are going to talk about this. Before talking about this, let me revise everything. That is mean, mode, and median. I won't write it on the board. I'll just say you. So even you remember the formula. The formulas are very important in the exam point of view. Then mean. Coming to the mean, you have which method are you going to follow in the mean? You are going to follow the direct method. What is the formula to the direct method? That is x bar is equal to summation of fi xi divided by summation of fi. Correct? Then what is that x I called as? What is that xi called as? It is a class mark or a class size. It is a class mark. How are you going to find the class mark? Lower plus upper limit divided by 2. You are going to sum both the limits and divided by 2. You get a mid number. If you find first mid number, you will have an idea what will be the second and the next nth coming mid terms. Okay. So find the first one and then have an idea about what will be the second and third class marks, and then go ahead with the sum. Okay, after this, after the mean, you had come across mode. Correct? In mode, what was the first thing you had learned? You learned about the model class. How do you find the model class? The maximum frequency in the frequency distribution table. Whichever the maximum frequency you have, it might be any number, but it should be a maximum number. So if it is the highest number in that maximum frequency distribution table, then you can take that as the class model class. Okay, then what is the formula to find out the mode? Mode is equal to L plus open your bracket, open the square bracket, you get f0 minus f1 divided by 2f0 2f1 minus f0 minus f2, correct, into h. What was the formula? Mode is equal to L plus square root, open your square roots, it is f1 minus f0 divided by 2f1 minus f0 minus f2 into h. So what is that L? L is the lower limit of the class, model class, what you have chosen that model lower limit, and f0 is the frequency of that model class, and f1 will be the frequency of that model class, and f0 will be the upper and the f2 will be the lower. Okay, if you have, for example, if you have 25 is the highest number, here 14 will be there and here 10 will be there. So this is f0, whatever the model class you choose. So that frequency will be f1. That frequency will be f1 and the upper frequency will be f0 and the lower frequency will be f2. So f0, f1 and f2. I'm sorry for getting confused. So you are going to take the model class in that way. Clear? So this is f1, f0, f1, f2 is the model class frequencies what you are going to choose, and h is the class size. H is the class size. How are you going to find out the class size? That is the upper limit minus lower limit. If the limit is from 10 to 15, so you are going to subtract 15 minus 10. If you subtract 15 minus 10, you get 5. So the class size will be 5. You should check all the class interval, whether it is coming in the equal class size or not. If it is in the equal class size, then yeah, you can go ahead with the class size what you have. Okay, after that you had come across median. Correct? How to find out the median? You need to find first the cumulative frequency. How are you going to find out the cumulative frequency? Zigzag, like this. Correct? If this was 1, 2, 3. So you are going to write 10 as it is. So 10 plus 10 will be 20. Then 20 plus 2 will be 22. Again back. So 22 plus 3 will be 25. So this is the cumulative frequency where you are going to add. If it is for the More than. If it is more than, what are you going to take? You are going to take the left terms. For example, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. So if this is the thing, you are going there. If they ask you more than or less than, no matter. If they do not ask you more, what is more than frequency, if you take it in this, if they ask you less than frequency, if there is no question about more than or less than, so you no need to worry about the cumulative frequency from where to start and from where to end. If they give you, or if they ask you, how are you going to find out? So what is the cumulative frequency or summation of CF? If they ask you for that time, if they ask you for lesser than in the sense, this one, less than 20. So whatever, if you take 19, whether it comes to 10 or 20, it comes nearest to 20. So less than. This is more than. More than, you need to go ulta form. So you need to put 25 first, and then with 25 you are going to subtract everything. If they ask you lesser than, normal method, addition. More than, subtraction. So remember in this way. Then what is the formula? To find the formula, you need to find out the median class. How are you going to find out the median class? That is sigma fi. Sigma fi. You remember in this way. Sigma fi you should find out as you were finding it in the mean. Similar way, you need to find out sigma fi. That sigma fi is denoted as n, and then you are going to divide it by 2. Sigma fi you are going to divide it by 2, whatever the number you get. Now, then where should you see that number? You should see it in the cumulative frequency table. For example, if I get 23, there, if I get the model class 23, where should I take 22 or 25? I should take 25, because 25, before 25 I get 23, but after 22, after I do not want, before I want. Before, if it is there, yes, you are going to consider it. After and all, I don't want. So after 20, also 23 comes. I cannot take that. After 22 also I cannot take. After 10 also 23 only comes. After. So many numbers after it comes. I do not say the next number itself. No. So here before, 25, 24, 23. Nearest number. So I am going to take before numbers, not the after numbers. Now my model class, median class is ready. Now after median class is ready, what is the formula to find out the mean? Median is equal to L plus n by 2 minus Fi divided by F sigma. That is F. You are going to find out F into H. So what is this F? What is this cumulative frequency? That is CF is this cumulative frequency I have already added. Then where is this F? F is the term this. Whatever the median class you have, there you have frequency distribution table right now. There you are going to choose F. Now where are you going to choose CF? CF you have already got that 23. So you are not going to take that 23. Whatever the median class you have, above that, whatever the number it might be, that median, that you are going to take it as cumulative frequency. Clear? So then after this, all this term, that is mean, mode and median, you have clear about it. Then you are going to take this empirical relationship between the 3 M's. What is this between the 3 M's? That is mean, mode and median. They can ask you in 2 ways. Write the empirical formula for 3 means, or they can say write the relationship between the cumulative frequency, the central tendency. Central tendency in the sense, the relationship between or finding all the 3 terms. Okay. Now, the first thing, what was the last thing you have learned? The last topic, that is median, correct? That is median. And the next topic is mode. Then it is mean, the last one, correct? So, 3, 2, 1. That's all. The first is the small mean, mode. Mean, mode, you keep it. So it is median, mean and mode. 3, 2, 1. They have given in the textbook, they have given median plus mode in median is equal, 3 median is equal to mode plus 2 mean. I do not want it in that method. I want, remember it in this one. It will be very easy. 3, 2, 1. So 3 M's. First one is mean, median, then it is mean, and then it is mode. It will be very easy. Now, if they give you in the model question paper, they have given the sum. If the number might be different, I'm really sorry. So, if median is 24 and mode is 25, then find out the mean. Okay, they have asked to find out the mean. Now, you can keep the mean here. You can bring out the mode and divide it by 2. It is your choice. If it is confusing for you, remember the formula. Substitute as what it is. Okay, as what it is, and you substitute. So 3 4s are 12, 3 2s are 6, plus 1 7 minus 25 is equal to 2m. So what you get? It will be 12. So 5 and 10, it is 7. 7 and this is 6. You get it as 4 is equal to 2m. So you are going to find out mean, that is 47 divided by 2. 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 3s are 6.5. So it is 23.5. The question, the number might be different, children, but you are going to do it in this method. If you are not able to remember that mean is equal to 3 mean is equal to 3 median plus 3 median minus mode divided by 2. If you are not able to remember it in that way, you can remember the general formula, that is 3 median is equal to 2 mean plus 1, and then you can solve the problems regarding this. This was the thing what I have left it in the statistics topic. So this we have already completed the statistics topic. You solve the problems. If you have any doubt, you can pin me up. Then we are going to start with the new topic, that is trigonometry. This will be the last topic of your mathematics, that is trigonometry. Okay, after this, your syllabus of 2020-21 is completed finally. Then we are going to start with trigonometry. What is this trigonometry? What is this word trigonometry telling us? So let me bifurcate the term trigonometry. Okay, what is this tree? Tree says you it is 3. Correct? 3. Gno means, what is the word gno tells you? The gno tells you about the angles and sides. Okay? Angles. Metry is the measurement, that is the sides. So it is, trigonometry is the part of a mathematics where you are going to learn about the 3 sides and 3 angles of a figure. Now, after this, it is the point where you are coming to know which type of triangle are you going to use in the trigonometry. Why did I say you are going to use triangles? Triangles, which geometrical figure has 3 sides and 3 angles? Triangle itself, correct? Triangle, only triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles in the geometrical figure. Now, which type of triangles are you going to use for this trigonometry? We are going to use only the right angle triangle. We are going to use only the right angle triangle. Okay? So let me take a right angle triangle ABC. Now, what is the next part? Next part is, okay, you have taken a right angle triangle. Then what about these 2 angles? What is the thing? What type of angle are those 2? Those 2 will be an acute angle. Those 2 will be an acute angle. Why it should be an acute angle? Because the sum of all the 3 angles in a triangle will be how much? 360 degree? It is 180 degree. Sum of all the 3 angles in a triangle, not only in a right angle triangle, in any triangle you can say it should be a 180 degree itself. So you have already have a 90 degree angle. Okay, 90 degrees over. Still you have only another one. In 180, if you subtract 90, you will be left with only 90. You have 2 angles, so you need to divide it. Correct. So if you divide it, you get an acute angle. One angle might be greater, one angle might be lesser, but it should be less than 90 degrees. So whatever the angle, it is less than 90 degrees, it is called as which type of angle it is? an acute angle. So these two angles are an acute angle. Clear? Now you have a right angle triangle. One angle is 90 degree and other two angles are acute angle. Now what next? After this, you have, now what are the terms? What is that? You come across the trigonometry ratios, trigonometry identities and everything. So let me start with those things. What is this trigonometry ratios? The ratio of the side of an right angle triangle with respect to its acute angles. So whatever the ratio you learn, you are going to learn based on these acute angles. It might be angle A and it might be angle C also. Whichever the acute angle you want, you can take, but you are going to learn the ratios with respect to the acute angle itself. So let me learn the ratios first, trigonometry ratios, and then we go ahead with the sums. Okay, then how many types of trigonometry ratios you have? You have hardly 6 types, that's all. Only 6 types. So let me take the ratios based on the first angle. Let me erase that triangle where you have 2 acute angles. So ABC is a right angle triangle. We are going to talk about the ratios. How many ratios you have? You have 6 ratios, correct? So let me take the first one as sine, cos, tan, cosecant, secant and cot. Okay, now you are going to learn these 6 ratios based on what? Based on an acute angle. Where shall I take an acute angle? Let me take angle C is an acute angle for the triangle ABC. Now, this side opposite to the right angle triangle is called as what? It is called as hypotenuse. You know by Pythagoras theorem. Now, what is the side opposite to this acute angle called as? It is called as opposite side itself. The side opposite to the acute angle is called as opposite itself. And the remaining side what you have is adjacent. Clear? So the thing what you learned here is the side opposite to the right angle triangle is an hypotenuse. Then the side opposite to an acute angle, wherever it might be here, it might be here, whichever way you take. So the opposite side of this will be an opposite side itself. Then the remaining one more side will be there, since it has only 3 sides. The another one will be adjacent. Now you are going to learn the sine, cos, tan, cosecant, secant and cot based on which angle? B angle? No, based on the acute angle, that is C. Sine C. You are going to learn the 6 ratios based on the combination of your acute angle, that is angle C. Now, what is this sine? Sine is always opposite by hypotenuse. Sine is always opposite by hypotenuse. So what is opposite? It is AB divided by hypotenuse is AC. Then cos with respect to an acute angle where C is there. Then it is cos is adjacent by hypotenuse. This is equal to adjacent is BC divided by AC. Then you are going to learn about tan C. What is this tan C? It is the combination of sine and cos. So you are going to take sine C divided by cos C. So what is sine C? It is opposite by hypotenuse divided by adjacent by hypotenuse. Correct? So denominator is same. It gets cancelled. You will be left with opposite by adjacent. So what is opposite? It is AB. What is adjacent? It is BC. Correct. Now cosecant. Cosecant, how are you going to learn about the cosecant? Cosecant is ulta of sine. Cosecant is a reverse order of sine. So cosecant C. Whatever the sign you have, you need to reverse it. So let me write 1 by sine. 1 by sine C. So what is sine? Opposite by hypotenuse. So reverse of it, it is hypotenuse by opposite. You can, let me write the steps. After learning clearly, you can skip the steps. So what is that? AC by AB. Correct? Now, the next one is secant. Secant C. Secant C is Then what is the next one you have? Cos. So 1 by cos. So it is 1 by adjacent by hypotenuse, which is equal to hypotenuse by adjacent, which is given by, what is your hypotenuse? It is AC. What is the adjacent? BC. Then cot. Cot is also the reverse order of your tan, or you can take the combination of cosecant and secant. It is your wish. So let me take the easiest one, that is reverse order of the tan. So reverse of tan is what? That is adjacent by opposite. So what is the adjacent? It is BC. Opposite is what? AB. Clear? So these are these 6 ratios what you are going to learn. It is hard to remember, right? Sine, opposite by hypotenuse, cos, adjacent by hypotenuse, tan, opposite by hypotenuse, adjacent. So it is the thing is very long. You cannot remember. So what is the trick is, you are going to remember it in ho, ha, way. You are going to remember it in this way. Sine, ho, cos, ha, then tan, oi. This is the way you are going to learn. If you know about the sine, cos and tan, the other 3 ratios are similar. Ulta of that, it is O, HO. Cosecant will be HO. Secant will be ulta of this, HA. Then tan cot will be ulta of AO. That's all. Simple. So you are going to remember it in this way. The first 3, if you remember, it is very good. That is sine, cos and tan, O, ha, oi. That's all. So O, OH, ha, AH, oi, OA, oi. So these are the 3 simple things you are going to remember, since it is very hard. Now I have learned the 6 ratios based on the acute angle of C. Now I have another acute angle, correct? Where is another acute angle? Angle A. So let me learn about that acute angle, how it has been done. Okay. So let me take the same triangle. Now I won't go so deeper into the steps. Already you know the terms, how to remember it, correct? Now let us go with that. Now based on what we are going, which angle we are going to do, this 6 ratios we are going to learn about the acute angle where it is on the angle A. Okay. Now this side opposite to this right angle is called as hypotenuse. This side opposite to the acute angle is opposite. And the remaining side is adjacent. Clear? Opposite to the angle A, right angle is hypotenuse. Opposite to the acute angle will always be opposite itself, and the remaining one more side you will be having, it is an adjacent of the triangle. It is not the rules that you should have an acute angle of theta here itself. No, it can be anywhere. But remember that the angle opposite side, the angle opposite to the side opposite to this acute angle will always be opposite. Okay, now sine. Sine with respect to which angle we are learning now? With respect to angle A. Angle A. Sine, what is sine? How are you going to remember? O. So it is opposite by hypotenuse. What is the opposite? It is BC by hypotenuse is AC. Then cos A. How are you going to remember cos A? AH. So what is A? Adjacent, that is AB and AC. Tan O A. So O is what? Opposite, that is BC, and A is adjacent AB. Then cos A. Cos A is ulta of sine, that is H by O. AC by BC. Then secant A. It is H by A. That is AC by AB. Then cot A will be opposite of tan. AO will be AB by BC. Clear? Now I think it is easy for you to Identify what is cos, sine and tan. How are you going to remember the cos? It is ha. Tan, oi. Then sine, it is ha. Ho. Sorry. Then now you have learned about how to identify in terms of A and C. Now we are going to do with theta, with respect to theta. Okay. Now let me take theta for angle C and you are going to do theta for angle A. Now we are going to take this as theta. So sine theta. Sine theta is OH. So what is opposite? Angle of the side opposite to the acute angle will always be an opposite. AB by AC. Then cos is AH. So it is BC by AC. Then tan is what? O and A. OA. So it is, what is O opposite? It is AB by ASBC. Then cosecant will always be opposite of sine. That is H by O. AC by AB. Then secant will always be opposite of cos. That is H by A, which is AC by BC. Then cot is opposite of tan, AO, BC by AB. I think it is clearly understood for you how to take sine, cos and tan ratios using the right angle triangle. Okay, the side opposite to the right angle is always an hypotenuse and side opposite to the acute angle will always be an acute angle. You will be remaining with another one side, that is your adjacent. Okay, is it clear for you? Then how are you going to remember this? You are going to remember sine as ho, cos as ha and tan as oi. The opposite of the reverse of sine is cosecant, that is HO. Then secant will be HA and tan will be AO. So I think you have understood about the ratios. Then you are going to take this as an homework. You are going to do it as homework. You are going to find out sine theta where the acute angle is for angle A. Okay. Then after this, what you have, the next one. The next is you are going to solve the problems based on the ratios. Correct? You have an exercise where you are going to solve the problems regarding the ratios. So let us take that. Before taking that, let me talk about the triplets. I have given you some triplets when we were doing Pythagoras theorem. Now these triplets are also useful here because you are going to deal this trigonometry only with the right angle triangle. So let me give some triplets for you, which will be helpful. Triplets. The first one is 3, 4 and 5. The next is 5, 12, 13, 7, 24, 25, 8, 15, 17, then 9, 40, 41. So I think these 5 triplets are is enough for you because they won't cross after this. It will be a hard numbers. You will be having 11, 60 and 61, 12, 35, 37, 13, 84 and 86 you will be having, where that much of terms will not be given. So you are learned about in today's class what is trigonometry, where the trigonometry is being dealt with the right angle triangle. Correct? After this you have learned about the trigonometry ratios. What are the trigonometry ratios? Let me take this as, let me take angle C as theta. So sine. Now are you going to remember sine? It is ho. Correct? Cos is ha. Then tan is OE. Cosecant will be HO. Ho. Secant, ha itself, HA. The pronunciation is same, but the thing what you take is in the reverse order. Theta, that is cot theta will be AO. OA it will be, here it is AO. So till here you have learned. Let us solve some problems based on this topic and let us go further. So the first one, that is exercise 11.1. Exercise 11.1, the first one. If there is two sums in the first question itself, one sub question I'll be doing, another one question you will be doing regarding that. Okay. Now, in a right angle triangle at B. So you have a triangle. Let me draw the triangle. It is ABC. Where you have right angle, angle B is your right angle. Then what they have told, AB is 24, BC is 7. And you are going to determine sin A and cos A. So they have given me, the first thing is I need to find out sin A, cos A. Correct. So where do my acute angle live here? It is living in A. So angle A is an acute angle. So opposite to this angle is what? Opposite. The remaining will be adjacent and the highest one will be hypotenuse. Now, I do not know the hypotenuse, the length of hypotenuse. How to find? If you know the triplet, you can find. You can easily find out. That is 7 and 24 is there. What will be the left one? It is 25. The one more thing is hypotenuse is the longest side of the right angle triangle. It will always be having the longer length. Then the second one will be the adjacent and then opposite. You can take it in that way, or if the triangle is utility also, you might miss. So you remember only the longest side of a right angle triangle is an hypotenuse. Now, how are you going to remember sign? I have told it is O. It is O and H. O. So what is O? 7 by 25. Then cos, how are you remembering cos? Ha. AH, ha. So it is 24 and 25. So this is the way you are going to solve the problems. This type of easy sounds might also be asked, and some questions might also be asked. Next, coming to the second one. In the figure 8.13, find tan P minus cot R. So let me go to 8. In the figure 8.13. Where is the figure? It's going out of the book. Yeah, it is 11.13, I think so. So change it for 11.13, the second one. So it is 11.13. It is not 8.13. I'm sorry. It is 11.13. Figure 11.13. You are going to find tan P and cot R. Then let me draw the triangle what they have given. So it is P. Angle Q is 90 degree and angle R, it is 12 centimeter and 13 centimeter. Correct. Now, what are you going to find? You are going to find tan P minus cot R. Tan P minus cot R. The first thing is for tan, which is the acute angle they have told, it is P. So this will be the opposite with respect to P. Okay. Then how are you going to remember tan? Tan is remembered as what? Ho. OA. Ho. OA. 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 So O is QR divided by adjacent as PQ. Correct. Now you have to find the opposite side. Correct. You have 12, 13. So what will be the next one? See here. It is 5. So the opposite will be 5. 5, 12, 13. So the longest side will be 13 itself. It is 5 by 12. Then cot. Cot is remembered as what? AO. AOS 12 by 5. So you have what? 5 divided by 12 minus, sorry, with respect to R you want, right? With respect to R, this will be opposite and this will be adjacent. So it is 5 by 12 itself. With respect to R, if you want, you can draw another triangle with respect to R as an acute angle, and then you can find out which is opposite and which is adjacent. Clear? Now it is 5 by 12 minus 5 by 12. If both the numerator and denominator, if both are equal, and if you are going to subtract it, you get it as 0. Clear? So this is the way you are going to find out. Then coming to the third sum, if sin A is 3 by 4. Calculate cos A and tan A. They have given 3 by 4. So what will be the next side? 3 by 4. 3 is here, 4 is here. The next one is 5. Or you can apply the Pythagoras theorem and also do the sum. Okay. The next one, fourth one, given 15 cot A is equal to 8. Find sin A and secant A. They have given the fourth sum. Let me give you one hint so that it will be easy for you to solve. You are going to solve, children. You are going to solve the questions and ask if there is any doubt. Fourth one, 15 cot A is equal to 8. So how are you going to take cot as? Cot A is equal to 8 by 15. 8 by 15. So how are you going to represent cot as? OA. You are going to represent cot as OA. So you have 8 and 15. What is the next one left out? If it is 8 and 15, the next one is 70. The next size is 17. I do not know. I do not remember the triplet. So what's next? How to remember? So let me draw the triangle first. So this is, see, the angle opposite to this will be 15 and the adjacent will be 8. So I do not know how to find out. Let me apply Pythagoras theorem. A square is equal to hypotenuse square is equal to sum of the other two sides, the whole square. So it is square plus BC square also. I do not know AC. Let me keep it as AC square as it is. So it is 8 square plus 15 square. Correct? So 8 8s are 64. 15 15s are 165. What? How much? 15 into 15. 5 5s are 25. 2 carry 5 1s are 5 6 7. Plus 5 5s are 25. 2 carry 5 1s are 5 6 7. Sorry. Five plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 2 25. Now you are going to add it. You get what? It is 64. So 5 plus 4 is 9. Then and 2. 89. So 5 plus 4 is 9 and 6 plus 2 is also 8 and 2 will be left out. Now I need to find out how much it goes. So let me take 15 is already over. Now you wanted 16. Above 15 you should find out because the highest length is 15. Then after 15 what? I want the highest length there. So 16 into 16, 6 6 are 36. No, it won't work. 7 into 7, 7 7s are 49. So 9, 4 carry, 7 on the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 7 and 1. 9, 8, 2. Correct? So AC is equal to square root of 289, which is equal to 17. So the hypotenuse, what you get is 17. So the things are, if you know the triplets, it will be easier, very fast enough, you can solve the problem. If you do not know, you can apply the Pythagoras theorem and do. But be careful that while doing the calculation, you might miss the numbers, so do not mess the numbers and do not get confused with the terms also. Now cot A is ready for you. It is 8 by 15. Now what are you going to find? What should be found out? They are asking you about the sin A and secant A. Sin A, sin how are you going to remember? Ho. So opposite 15 by 17. Secant, how are you remembering? Ha opposite, it is AH. Correct. Ha opposite, it is HA. So what is H? 17 divided by 8. So this is the way you are going to solve. Coming to the next one, that is fifth one. Secant theta is equal to 13 by 12. 13 and 12 is already over. What will be the next length? You will be left with 5. 13, 12 and you will be left with 5. Okay, they are asking now, they are talking about theta. They are not giving you any alphabet, they are giving you theta. It is your choice. Wherever you want, you can take the theta in these two acute angles. It might be you can take it in the place of P or you can take it in place of R also, but it is your choice where you can take. It is your choice. Wherever you want, you can take. Okay. Then what they are asking, find all the trigonometry ratio. You are going to find all the trigonometry ratios. Then coming to the sixth one. It is a proof where it won't be asked. Then also I'll just explain you. If angle A and angle B are acute angles such that cos A is equal to cos B, then find out A and B. That is, angle A and angle B should be equal. They are telling it is equal. So let me take this as the triangle itself, ABC as a triangle. So what they have told, A and B are acute angles. A and, let's see, B a right angle triangle, let this be B. Okay, A and B are an acute angle. After that, what they have asked? So cos A with respect to this is opposite. So this will be an adjacent. It is AC divided by AB. Adjacent by hypotenuse. So cos B. So for B angle, this side will be opposite and this is adjacent. So it is BC divided by hypotenuse is AB. Then you need to subtract these two. How are you going to? No, you are going to evaluate. So it is cos AC by AB is equal to BC by AB. So denominators are same. If you cross multiply, it comes here, it goes here. Then also you can cancel. So let me cancel it here itself. So you can say AC is equal to BC. Correct? Where is your AC? This is AC and this is BC. So can I say in an isosceles angle, the two sides are equal? If you have a triangle where two sides are equal, can I say it as an isosceles triangle? And you have a right angle also here. So if you have a right angle and two sides are equal, then can I say it as a isosceles triangle? Yes. So in an isosceles triangle, if two sides are equal, can I say the two angles will be equal? For this side, which is the opposite angle, this is the opposite angle. So angle B is equal. So for this side, which is the opposite angle, so angle A. So angle B and angle A are equal. Okay. Then coming to the next one. Here it is seventh one. Cot theta is equal to 7 by 8. Evaluate. So now they have given the cot theta value. You are going to find out the other side and solve and tell it to me. Let me do the first one. So it will be easy. Eighth one will also be similar to this only. So eighth one you are going to do. Okay. So seventh one, cot theta is equal to 7 by 8. 7 by 8. So how are you going to remember cot theta? OA. So let me take ABC as a triangle. Angle C is equal to theta and angle B is 90 degrees. So this will be opposite and this will be my adjacent. What is the value of adjacent? 7. What is the value of opposite? It is 8. Now I do not have the triplet in the combination of 7 and 8. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the Pythagoras theorem. So it is AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. I do not know AC, let me keep it as it is. AB is how much? 8 square. BC is 7 square. So 8 8s are 64, 7 7s are 49. So 9. 9 plus 1 will be 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. 1 carry. 4. 6 plus 4 will be 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. So you have AC square is equal to 113. So square root of 113 is the answer. So you have any perfect square for 113? No. 114 you have as 12. So 121 is for 11. You do not have any number between that with this perfect square. So let me keep it as it is. And then what they have asked is a question. They have asked you to find out 1 minus 1 plus sin theta, 1 minus sin theta divided by 1 plus cos theta, 1 minus cos theta. Correct? Now, let me substitute. You have got the value here. See, a plus b, a minus b. So, it is a square minus b square. You can take this directly or you can do it and then take. Let me take it directly. 1 square minus sin square theta divided by 1 square minus cos square theta. Why did I take it in this way? Because your next sub-equation, that is cos square theta, is similar to this one, and the 8th question where you are going to find tan square, cos square and sin square, that will be also similar. So I have taken it as directly here. A plus b, a minus b. I need to show how to take for square. 1 square minus tan, cos. For sin, what are you going to remember? OH. So OH, what is OH? It is 8 divided by root 113 the whole square. If you have square, no worries. Whatever the number you wanted to put and put the square. That's all. 1 square minus cos, are you remembering? AH. So what is A? A7. And this is 13. Whatever the number you wanted to put and put the square root. That's all. So what is the conclusion? 1 square will always be 1 minus 8 8s are 64. Square and square root get cancelled. You will be left with 113 divided by 1 square is 1. 7 square is 49. Square and square root get cancelled. You will be left with 113. Now we are going to take LCM. 113 get cancelled. You will be left with 113 minus 64 divided by 113 minus 49. So let me subtract. In 3, 4 does not go, so it is 13. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 8. Then again 4, 8 and 9. You will be left with 9. And this is 10, 4. 49 you will get. Divided by 113 and 49. So again it is 9 and 12, it is 3, and this one will be 4 and 10, 64. So you will be getting it with 64, 49 and so 49 divided by 64. Similar way for the cot theta, find the value. You have already have 7 by 8, that's square, that's all. And the next one will be tan. That is, I have already done the sum. 3 cot A is equal to 4. So what will be the cot A value? Cot A is equal to 4 by 3. 4 by 3, what is the next triplet? You have 4 and 3 combination. You have 5 as the next triplet. So tan square, you are going to take the value and square it off. That's all. Then the 9th sum is similar one. You are going to apply the Pythagoras theorem. So you have tan, they have given, that is opposite by adjacent, 1 and root 3. So what will be the value of the hypotenuse? You will get the value of hypotenuse as to apply the sine and cos with respect to that and do the sum. So this ends the first exercise, and let us continue the next one.